Bao, do you have something to tell people? He always has something to say. Ruler cameo. Day 3 talking about the ruler until people tell me to stop. I'm here to let you know that I finally finished this sketchbook, so let's do a sketchbook tour. My desk is getting so messy. I should really clean it, but alas, sketchbook tour and drawing takes priority in my mind. So this is my 3rd sketchbook of the year, which is so crazy. But it's also the sketchbook that took me the longest to finish out of all of them. Or I started it in late February and then finished it late April. The other sketchbooks that I finished this year only took me a month, which is also crazy considering if you've been here for the journey. I have historically not really used my sketchbooks and been a digital artist, but lately have rediscovered my love for traditional art and just doodling and sketching. So I've been chipping away at my sketchbooks again, but the reason that this one took so long is because I did travel a lot in the last 2 months and was just really busy with work. So this one took a while to finish, and by a while I mean 3 months. This is also the heaviest book out of all of them because I did a bit of junk journaling, so it's quite thick compared to the other ones. I mean, yeah, you can see. So let's get into it. I'm really excited to show you guys this one because it's very, very experimental. I have new medias that I tried, and the junk journaling was also new. Each sketchbook tour I've done has a different theme, just naturally because I was exploring different things at the time. I would say for this one, super, super experimental. I have to see what the other ones felt like because honestly for me they were all experimental. Okay, this first page actually, I think I did it like probably late April because I actually didn't do this page when I initially started the book. This was the page that I started with and I totally skipped this first one, so it was empty. But I actually came back because I was sketching some concepts. So here's like some thumbnails that I did for a print page that I was doing. And then this is actually the start of the sketchbook, and I wrote a little memo to myself because I wanted to see if anything would change in 3 months. I can't believe this was 3 months ago because I remember filming this page actually. So it looks like I was obsessed with fountain pens, which is still true. Scribbling, I haven't scribbled in a while. I should get back to it actually. It's something that I really enjoyed and I feel like I didn't really play it all out yet. Use my stationery. I am using stationery, so I'm happy about that. Here's some washi tape from Washi Station, which is a brand that is artist owned and works with other artists. And this was it's an ink. I believe it's from Pilot, and it's like this beautiful, beautiful blue that has these values where it's like dark to a more light but still saturated blue. I really love this blue. And actually it was in my TWSBI, which if you don't know, I love the TWSBI fountain pen. It's probably my favorite brand just because they have like a beautiful broad and smooth nib. I had this blue and it actually ran out because I used it so much, but I was able to find it again. And so this is the blue that I would recommend if you're looking for that really nice value. So this is some washi tape from Paloma the Peach. They're a great artist on YouTube. I actually went to a market in Texas and was able to see them and buy this washi tape from them. But this page, it looks like I was storyboarding some kind of video and then was playing around with this green color. This is all alcohol markers, and then this other green is fountain pen ink. This was super experimental. I did the background in alcohol markers and then I went over it with acrylic markers. Something I've been wanting to share with you guys is how I finish my sketchbook. Just because I know it's a challenge to, in general, finish your sketchbook, but for me, I found a process that really worked. Coming from someone who's finished 3 sketchbooks in this year, and it's only been like, almost mid-quarter 2. The biggest recommendation is experimentation. So this was experimenting with media in general and just like different tools. I was at the time still in my fountain pen like exploration phase. choice. I mean, I still am today, but I was really new to fountain pens, so I'm just trying them out here. And honestly, when you're trying out different tools, I feel like it's very easy to burn through the pages because you just want to see how it works on the paper, right? So like I'm scribbling here and I'm like, oh, I love how it looks on top of red. And then I'm like, okay, but what would it look like on white or like on another purple? So for me, experimenting with different mediums is really easy to just go through the pages. Here's a doodle page where I was playing with color blocking. So another way that I fill my pages is just experiment with color. Like maybe I'll color the entire page one color and then leave a section that's white. I think that's really interesting. This in a way is also exploring with color because I'm layering different colors and I'm thinking about it as a painting canvas. This one was a lot more flat and graphic. This one is also experimenting with color and composition in a way because like I'm using the alcohol markers underneath. I believe I started with the alcohol markers first because they're light, and then I layered the pink on top, and then I layered the fountain pen green. So this is an example of just experimenting with different colors too. And I just like drawing things that come to mind really quickly, and also my favorite things, which are persimmons, shibas. I like sharp things. So I feel like after a while it could feel like, oh, I'm just drawing the same thing over and over, but you can draw it in different ways, you know? Like I got these squigglies going on here, and I got this squiggly going in this tulip as well. And these sparkles, which are all over my sketchbook. Honestly, everywhere there's sparkles, but you just find different ways to draw them, and drawing them over and over again, you also find, I guess, new ways to draw them. I drew something under here that I wasn't happy with, so then I put some sticky notes on top. And I do like the layering effect that it does, especially with the yellow sticky note. Here's some more layering. I really like the layering effect. I recommend using a light color and then a dark color, and then you can kind of adjust your eye and see the two layers. Here's a page I actually did for a video. I was sketching out this sticker design that I made. Here's what the sticker looks like. Here's some thoughts and experimentation on scribbling. I really need to get back into it actually. I really miss scribbling. So scribbling in the sense of like, I think I just did like the green layer first and then just scribble a bunch of colors on top. I think texture is something that I love playing with. So whether it's scribbling with these paint markers or scribbling with alcohol markers, more scribbling. There's actually some sticky notes here. Oh my gosh, I put so much paint on this page that it ended up gluing down the sticky note. Okay, this page was entirely acrylic markers. The ones that I really like are from Arts. I think they have really vibrant colors and they also have different nibs. So for this nib, I used the medium one, which is really nice because then you get these bold lines. This is a result of me just not waiting long enough for my ink to dry. So I had the paint markers and then I most likely closed the book and then it created this. But you know, it's kind of a mood. I don't mind it. It makes it look like I really used my sketchbook, you know what I mean? Like it has the used book. All right, here's a vertical page. I should do more of these. I forget to, but POV, they show up at your door. Here's some more black. This is all paint markers. There's something nice about the opaque black paint markers. I also love this neon pink. I think I really like using neon colors in general when it's on paper. Not so much digitally, but on paper, you know, it just gives it a pop. And then I went over it with the green fountain pen ink. This green is actually from the company Sailor. I believe it's Washington color. It's really nice. Some more smudging. I have a big tendency to not wait for my ink to dry, so I'll be coloring and then I smear. And then I also get a bunch of color on my hand. This page, I remember I was concepting for a t-shirt. I thought it would be cool if the shirt had like, I don't know, it was made from two materials. So one material is here, so you can see like the face of the character, and then the other material is behind, so it makes like this layering effect. But I haven't figured out the right proportions yet, so it's still on the back burner. I started reading the guy she was interested in, wasn't a guy at all. I'm only on book 3, but I should get back into it. Very cute series. Oh, I remember calculating this for a video. So then I had to write down like a bunch of numbers, and then here's like more notes. I loosely storyboard when I do videos, so this is my version of storyboarding. Oh, these were water-based markers, so not alcohol, but they are from the same brand. I use Ohuhu for both the water-based and the alcohol. Oh, I remember the eyes being too big, so I made them a little smaller. This print, I actually re-rendered digitally, and it looks like this now. But this was the original, and I wanted to turn it into a bandana, and I want to make 3 bandanas. So this is concept 1, 2, 3. And I've actually sat on this idea for a very long time. Like, this sketch was in March, but I probably have been sketching this concept since last year, end of the year. Present day, I still haven't executed on number 3. Number 2 is still in the works. Number 3, I just haven't done it yet, but I need to sit down and do it. Here's some more product concepting. So Falma and I are working on a shirt. So here's the concepts for the shirt, and then a bunch of alcohol and paint markers scribbled on top. Oh, I remember us being at a cafe doing this. This was that blue before I ran out. So I have the blue ink here. It's so beautiful. I wish you guys could see it in person because it just looks so vibrant in person compared to on camera. I remember I was trying to concept a character because Falma and I are trying to start a brand together, but we don't know what character or mascot we want to do, but we know we want to do a mascot. We just haven't decided, like, what is that character? He wants a bat. I feel like I don't resonate with bats though. I resonate with otters. So I was like, can we do an otter? But he doesn't resonate with otters. But we do like this eye motif, maybe a hat. I don't know. Still thinking about it. Shirt concepts, we actually are printing the shirt now. Let me do it for you. Curly. I visited my friend at ECCC, if you're familiar with her work, V. Tellier. This was a ribbon that she gave me. And is this her fountain pen? I don't remember. It might be. Or is it my fountain pen? We both have fountain pens, so I don't remember if I borrowed hers or not. But I did take her business card. This washi tape is from Odd Rabbits. These stickers are from Tabatai, and both of these colors, the red and the purple, are from Sailor inks. They're from fountain pens, and I colored it in with some alcohol markers. More fountain pens. Yeah, I'm still in my fountain pen era, so honestly, that's a good sign, right? Because you don't want to get into a hobby and then like jump out of it so quickly, especially when you've spent so much money on it. I've spent so much money in Asia buying all these inks and all these pens, but thankfully I still use all of them. Yeah, majority of these are all fountain pen inks. This green in the back is alcohol markers. I will say if there's any large areas where I'm coloring, then I'll use alcohol markers to color. Some more doodles. I think some of these are prompt studies. So my friends will send pictures and then we call it prompt drawings, and we'll just draw from those references. Ooh, experimenting. I layered on pink on both sides. This one looks like I used a Pilot fountain pen. I don't remember what ink it was though. It doesn't look like the typical red ink that I usually use. It looks orange. And this one was all paint markers. Another way to fill your sketchbook is live studies or still drawings. I was referencing my friends and we were all drawing at the time. So if you have a subject in front of you, that's a great way to fill your page as well. Ooh, this is a paint marker that I really like. Again, because it's neon. This is also paint. So because it's acrylic marker, it can go on top of alcohol marker and just kind of like layer on top, you know? So it's opaque. Oh, I do love, I want to say this red ink that I have. It's the same red that I've been showing you guys in the previous pages, but it does this gold sheen, which is so cool. So cool. This is all paint markers. I realized in my living room, the place that I sit to draw, these 3 plants are right in front of where I'm drawing. So if you see these often, it's because I'm sitting in that spot and I'm like, what should I draw? And then it's literally just those 3 plants. Maybe I should cycle through what's in front of me. Oh, this looks very familiar. I think I did it again, but in a different, wait, they're almost in the same pose. But it's also the red and purple again. I think I was just playing around with the colors here. Oh, I finally executed on this. So this is my convention display concept. It looks like this now, which I'm really proud of. And it all came from these sketches. This was in Hawaii. I remember I was drawing a bunch of plants that I saw there. My thoughts and feelings. I had some kith desserts. Does anyone know who this character is? If you know who this character is, you're my people. If you want to pause the video to read this, you can. But if anyone has done Artist Way, I was doing my morning pages because I forgot to bring my journal. So this was that. I have some goals listed just to keep my sanity in check. Some math my friend and I were trying to do. Yeah, math, I don't know. This is another example of some live studies. So we went to the beach in Hawaii and there were some crabs, some trees. We were sitting next to the water and there were some fish. Like this fish looked really interesting. There's this anchor thing, other plants. So yeah, great way to fill your sketchbook. This was another medium exploration. My friend had some crayons, and I will say crayon doesn't do that great in this sketchbook. If you didn't know, the sketchbook is one that I designed. It has bleed-proof paper, but it is like the paper is glossy and waxed. So if you're using like another waxed material like crayon, it doesn't stick very well. So when I close the book, it creates these little leftover where the crayon kind of stuck over from the previous page. It does that for certain pencils as well. So that's my only warning if you're using this sketchbook is it's great for marker, it's great for paint. It's not the best for pencil unless you're trying to just sketch something quickly and then maybe layer over with marker or pen. This was all, the green is alcohol markers. We went to a botanical garden and I was just drawing everything I saw there. Saw the plants. They also had these statues, like this one is so silly. And these long statues, and also saw some geckos there. This is still in Hawaii, as you can see. We were at Waikiki when this performance was happening, hanging out with some friends. Are you guys familiar with Thousand Skies and Joffrey? They do great artwork. I was trying to draw their mascots from memory. I believe this is still in Hawaii. So I redrew Joffrey's mascot, doodled some other things. My friend and I were planning a stamp rally in July for Anime Expo. If anyone's going there, I'll be a vendor. You can find me in Artist Alley. Still in Hawaii. Still planning my booth table, but it's executed now. Back in March, this was March, I was still concepting it. Okay, here begins the junk journaling. I actually have a separate video that talks more specifically about my junk journaling experience, but I'll just briefly go through it here. So I actually think I had a comment asking, how do you bring art supplies when you're traveling and what does that look like? So for me, what that looks like is I usually bring a small pencil pouch. The pencil pouch is about like this big, and I usually bring like 2 fountain pens. The 2 that I brought were these 2, and then I brought like a couple of alcohol markers, and then I also brought a pencil. And I would say something like this will fit nicely into the pencil pouch. It is a bit limiting, but it's enough to get through the trip. And also if I want to buy new things, like, you know, I can always buy more supplies in Asia if that's something that I want. And then I also got this little pouch over there. Look how cute it is. It's artist made. And I ended up buying a bunch of washi tape in Asia. And so I also had another pouch for washi tape. So I basically carried around something like this while I was traveling, and that allowed me to do a lot of the junk journaling within this book. Also tape. Tape is essential. So having tape to tape these down. Honestly, just grabbing like whatever sparked joy in terms of packaging was nice. I have my plane ticket. I have this gotcha box and then a snack that I got. Here's some more things that I gathered. Oh, I think this is a Ohuhu ballpoint pen. I think in the same vein as junk journaling. I think of it as bullet journaling as well. So I write down my thoughts for the day and maybe like some highlights. And we also gathered a bunch of stamps from the stamp stations. There's lots of stamps actually in all the Asia pages. This was a very, very cute blind box that I got from this artist. I'm a huge fan of their work now. This is the little guy I got. Look at him. They're so cute. And then I referenced some of their art. So using the alcohol markers, here is some doodles. I really like having color themed pages. So that's another way that you can fill out your sketchbook, is maybe think of a color and gravitate towards that color. So for this, it was blue and red. So I used the alcohol marker to lay this base down. I also based it off of the stamp that I was getting. So this stamp happened to be blue, and then this receipt happened to have some red. So I knew that I wanted to use a red pen for some writing here. This one is definitely like mostly red, but there is a pop of some blue, which is nice. And then I bought this nice washi tape from Soda that I put all over, and it's like very coincidental that it's also red. So there's some happy accidents too. Here is a page where we actually went to a fountain pen store, and so I was trying a bunch of different inks and also pens. So this page is like less focused on colors, but I made it work, for me at least. I had this green going across and this gift shop business card, and so that kind of influenced the theme here, because I started out doing the testing for the pens, and then I found these junk pieces to kind of match the pages. Here is another page using lots of stamps. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 stamps, 5 stamps here, and then layering a bunch of receipts and things. I started putting things diagonal. I felt like before this, a lot of things were just straight on, you know, vertical, horizontal. And then I got here and I was like, let's spice it up. There needs to be some diagonal happening. So lots of diagonal happened after this. Again, I think junk journaling in a way for me is bullet journaling. So I like to write a lot of my thoughts down so I can remember what the day looked like. Here's lots of stamps and more junk kind of sprinkled around, and doodles when I got time to doodle in Asia, because I feel like most of the time we were walking around, so not a lot of time to draw. I remember this day we were on a bullet train, so we did have more time to draw. Again, I'm working on my bandana design. This is the second design that I'm still working on today. I feel like I'm 50% done with it now, so I just gotta persevere through and actually finish it. Some concepts for a brand that Fam and I want to work on, and then we also went to the Taiwan Illustration Festival and I got some business cards and stickers from artists. I really love these like paper, they're kind of like translucent sticky notes, but the colors are really nice. I got all the washi tape that I put in the Asia section from Asia. This was fun, a live study. There was a park with this cactus thing, so I stopped to draw the cactus. I borrowed my friend's pen. It's like this mango color from Lamy. It's so nice. It's super vibrant in person, and I love how the color values change from this light orange yellow to like a darker orange. I would say it's mostly yellow though. And this is from a waffle shop. That moment when we were eating the ice cream and this was the wrapping and we cut out the wrapping, I really felt like a trash collector at that point. I really love that yellow so much that I was like, I need a yellow page. So I put all of these on first and then I colored the background. And then for this one, I put all the stuff on and then I drew this guy and wrote around it. Here's some more junk that I gathered from some of the artists from that festival. And then this is that train that I was telling you guys about earlier where I had time to doodle. Some more artist business cards. And there's this like tape thing that I have, which is cool. It basically looks like this. And you can just go zoop, and it gets all these little details and patterns. Also got that in Asia. Here's another store that we actually went to. It's called Tag Stationery, and I was able to test a bunch of their inks and their pens. I feel like I ended up buying half of their ink collection because similar to the yellow Lamy, I love the way that the dark values and the light values show up. I really want to show you guys my entire ink collection, but honestly, that could take all day, really. There's just so many colors that I got, and I would love to test all of them for you guys so you can see. I think this page I was also testing a lot of different pens. We bounced around a lot of stationery stores in Asia. So this looks like a C nib. This is a BB nib, MS nib, and then lots of different colors. Went to the Osaka Aquarium, so there's a lot of live studies here. I think in terms of filling my sketchbook and how to do it, my favorite way is by doing live studies. Just because there's like a plethora of inspiration around you, constantly thinking things are moving around, changing poses constantly. Every turn you take, there's just different things that, you know, you can draw. So we were also collecting stamps at the aquarium. On top of the stamps, I was trying to draw, but that aquarium's kind of hard to draw in because it's dark, and also there's not a lot of seating area. So I took a lot of photos so that I could go back and draw them. Here's some gacha that we got. And then I was testing more inks here. Lots of testing ink in Asia. Lots of junk collected and stamps collected. This one is like epitome junk. Went to the Pokemon Center and got this bag, cut it out, and then put it on here. And look how cute this Gengar is. This was probably like the biggest stamp that we found. I didn't apply enough pressure over here, as you can see, but I got the, you know, I got the important parts. Another way that you can fill your sketchbook is to trade with your friends. So I actually traded with Small Art. We were both on the Asia trip together, and she doodled this entire page for me. And then I had her sketchbook and I doodled in her book. So that's another way that you can fill up your sketchbook, is ask your friends to fill it for you. In fact, you don't even need to finish your sketchbook. Just get your friends to do it. I got this yellow ink from Pilot, I believe. Very similar to the yellow Lamy, but it's a little bit more saturated, which I kind of like. So I actually filled one of my Twisbies with it, and I love how this Twisby is also yellow. I've used a lot of the ink, as you can see. I have already returned to America after my Asia trip, but I was jet lagged. It was 1 a.m. So I was looking through my photos and I was just drawing some references. Like this was from Nara. I don't know why I put Nora. Was that just to test out the shape? So this blue is from this diamond Twisby, and it makes a really nice calligraphy kind of nib look. You have like some thick to thin strokes, and it's very angled because that's just how the nib works. This nib is also angled, and it is from the Opus 88 pen. This is one of my favorite purchases from Asia because I love how thick the nib can get, and I love how thin it can get as well. And I filled it with this purple ink that kind of shimmers gold green. You see that? It's like gold green, but it's purple black. These are the little things, you know, when you get into the hobby that you're like, oh my god, look at how the ink shines. And then the normal person looking at you is like, dude, that's just a glorified gel pen. And I'm like, you're right, I will pay $500 for that. I became obsessed with this purple ink and I started using it everywhere. Like, I just love that it's purple, it's green, it's gold, and it's black. I need more of those. I need more inks that can do what this does. If you ink people have recommendations, please. Also look, like the way that sometimes the purple is also light. I love that. It's light in these areas, but then it's like dark and black here. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting super sidetracked. The one detail I will point out for this page is I spelled April wrong. This was me demoing some washi tape from EB. They have a huge washi tape collection, and they also have these transparent flower stickers, which is really cool. I also have been loving putting washi tape down and then drawing on top of it and cutting out the parts where the character shapes are. This is from a dip pen, and I was dipping some shimmer ink. I feel like the ink has settled, so I don't really see it as much. Oh, I discovered something great about that black ink. I have to show you again. I discovered that, so at first I drew this like zigzag line, and then I went over it with this dark tape color thing pattern that I made, and then I was like, oh my gosh, it makes it shimmer even more. Like, do you see that? And you can kind of see, like, on this side, you can see the line where I originally did it first, and you know what I mean? Like, I love that. I love the look of this ink so much. Anyways, that was my discovery on this page, and I was like, I have to keep replicating that. So for the next couple of pages, that's what I was trying to do. I was like, how do I do that again? This page was a bunch of my friends and I drawing. I was in Colorado for a wedding, and I don't know if you guys can tell what is mine versus what is other people's drawings. I'll let you guys guess that. The only thing I will say is I can draw Powerpuff Girls from memory, and this was my Powerpuff Girls. Some more friends doodled here. I brought my Opus pen to Colorado, and of course I was using it like crazy because that ink is my favorite thing ever. This was just a bunch of doodles with a bunch of fountain pens. They're all fountain pens. It's you got the blue diamond Twisby, you got the yellow Twisby, and then you got the purple opus. And then I had some leftover junk from Asia, so I just slapped it in here. I think originally I was gonna do like a bingo card. Can you see the grid in the back? And then I was like, abort mission, so then I put a bunch of stuff on top. We were playing Pokemon, and so I do like going through my pocket TCG and just drawing Pokemon from reference. Another friend doodled here. He did the skull, and I don't know what this is, but I dig it. And then here we went to a park, and so I did some live studying. I'll say it again, I really like this ink. Look at the shine. Back to layering again. A lot of Pokemon reference here. Exclusively the gold ink. You see that? It's crazy. Love it. Don't forget, guys, this is an important message. Thank you, Shippo, for sharing. I was testing out some shimmer ink. Can you see the shimmer? I think this ink is best demonstrated via dip pen, but I was using the Jinhao fountain pen, and I just don't think the shimmer was getting through the pen. So I saw it in certain places, like I kind of see it sometimes, but not very well. This was using the Kakimori dip pen. Yeah, you can see the shine. I feel like the shimmer comes out much better when you're using a dip pen. This is also ink using the dip pen. I love the purple / gray. I just love inks that have that crazy value change, dark to light. It's really nice. Here's a demo using all washi tapes from Washi Station. Another page where I was playing around with cutting out the washi tape. If it wasn't obvious already, use your stationery. That's a great way to fill your page. You don't even have to draw in these areas. Just use your stationery, just color and scribble. You filled the page already. Here's some paint markers, fountain pens. This is actually colored pencil. Feels nice. It is waxy. I finally started Freerin. She's so cute. I really like her character. I like her apprentice too. They're very competent. I like competent characters. And then here's the last page. Some Freerin doodles. Nori, my beautiful baby cat. Some notes I took from a meeting that I just stuck here, and I should probably do something with that. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that little peruse through my sketchbook. Yeah, I will say this one was a lot about experimentation. I should write that. Junk journaling, experimentation, fountain pens. I hope my little memos and my little tips helped in terms of how to fill your sketchbook. Just try to do something new every day. Don't think too hard about it. It doesn't have to be that beautiful. Like, make it messy. I don't know. Just fill it up. I think you got this. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay, bye!